The gym bros mocked me, not knowing I had 3 powerlifting records, and I was about to come to their rescue. I'd lost 70 pounds during chemotherapy, and even after 6 months of training alone in my garage, I still looked like a skeleton compared to my former self. When I finally worked up the courage to walk into Iron Paradise for a real workout, my arms looked like pencils sticking out of my baggy tank top. What the muscled regulars didn't know was that before the cancer, I'd squatted 800 pounds and held world records in 3 different weight classes. Back then, I'd learned not to judge someone's strength based on their appearance. It looked like the guys here hadn't learned that lesson. The biggest guy there, who everyone called Tank, watched me set up at the squat rack with just the empty barbell for my warm-up and immediately came over. "Little man, this is a serious gym for serious lifters," he said, while looking me up and down with disgust. "The Planet Fitness is 2 blocks down where they give you free pizza and won't judge you for wasting everyone's time." When I explained I always started with the bar to warm up properly, he laughed so hard he had to wipe tears from his eyes. My chest tightened, but I kept my mouth shut because I'd promised my therapist I'd avoid confrontation while rebuilding my confidence. The cancer had taken enough from me, and I wasn't going to let some gym bro take away my first day back in a real weight room. His workout partner Brad started filming me, mocking how slowly and precisely I moved through each rep. "Look at this guy treating 45 pounds like it's a max attempt," he narrated loudly. Probably the most weight he's ever handled in his pathetic life. The whole gym could hear him commenting on how my visible ribs meant I'd never touched a weight before. I gritted my teeth and continued my set, focusing on my breathing the way I'd done during chemo when the nausea got overwhelming. Tank moved directly behind me as I added 1 plate per side, close enough that I could feel his breath on my neck. "Watch this, everyone," he announced. "This is where fake lifters get exposed." He reached out and poked my exposed spine through my shirt mid-squat, making me wobble slightly as people laughed. "I can count every bone in his back. This kid's built like a xylophone." The poke threw off my balance and I had to fight to complete the rep, my face burning as I racked the weight. I wanted to tell him I'd squatted his body weight for warm-ups before the cancer, but I knew they'd just mock me harder for lying. Tank's girlfriend wandered over and gasped when she saw me up close. "Oh my god, are you okay? Like medically?" she asked with fake concern. Tank grabbed my arm and lifted it, showing everyone how his fingers could wrap completely around my bicep with room to spare. "Feel this," he told her. "It's like grabbing a chicken bone. This is what happens when gamers try to become athletes." My stomach churned as more people gathered to watch, but I moved to the bench press anyway, still trying to complete my workout. Brad spotted my gym bag and grabbed it, dumping everything onto the floor. My old competition photos scattered across the rubber mats, pictures from when I weighed 220 pounds of solid muscle. Tank picked one up and burst out laughing. "This skeletal loser actually brought fake pictures as inspiration," he announced, holding up a photo of me deadlifting 700 pounds at nationals. "Look, he photoshopped his face onto a real powerlifter's body. That's the saddest thing I've ever seen." He started tearing them up while I stood frozen, watching 3 years of competitive memories turned into confetti. Brad called the manager over, claiming I was making other members uncomfortable with my concentration camp physique and suggesting I needed medical clearance. Tank added that I was a safety hazard who might collapse and create a liability issue. "Plus, it's bad for business," he said. "New members see this walking skeleton and think our supplements don't work." They brought over the gym scale and Tank literally picked me up and placed me on it like a child, announcing 132 pounds of pure weakness to everyone. His girlfriend said her purse weighed more, and to prove it, Tank grabbed me under my arms and did bicep curls with my entire body while counting reps out loud. Each lift made my ribs ache where the surgical scars were still tender, but I couldn't break free without looking even more pathetic. Tank ripped my shirt off to compare physiques in the mirror, exposing my surgical scars and protruding ribs to everyone. "This is what happens when you skip every day," he said, flexing next to my skeletal frame. He probably tells girls he's into fitness. Like anyone would believe this concentration camp survivor could lift anything heavier than his iPhone. I was setting up for my working sets, trying to block out their laughter and focus on why I was there, when Tank decided to attempt a massive bench press for his audience. He loaded 5 plates per side while calling everyone to watch. Brad spotted him as he pressed it once successfully, but on the second rep, I heard the distinctive pop of a joint giving out. The bar tilted violently. Brad lost his grip, and nearly 500 pounds of iron plummeted toward Tank's throat. 20 years of muscle memory overrode every weakened fiber in my body as I dove forward and caught the bar inches from his windpipe, my hands finding the exact grip width that gave me maximum leverage as I redirected the weight to the safeties with the same technique that had earned me my records. Tank's eyes bulged as he gasped for air, while Brad stood frozen, his phone clattering to the floor as he whispered, "There's no way someone your size just did that." Full story on the channel below.